All right, let's look at lesson 1.4, inverses of functions. So our lesson goal is for you to be able to determine the inverse of a function by solving f of x equals some constant. And you should be able to determine by composition that one function is the inverse of the other, where if we plug one function into the other, we get x. And we want you to be able to determine the values of the inverse function from a graph or table. And lastly, we want you to be able to describe the domain that will produce an invertible function from a non-invertible function. Okay, so recall that a relation is any pairing of elements of one set with the elements of a second set. So I'm actually not going to read through this because that'll take too much time, but I do want you to pause the video and read through these definitions right here just so that you can, have an idea of what we're going to be going over here. But so you should pause the video now, and then I'll start again in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so you should have read through this, and the inverse relation is basically what we're going to be looking at here, but we're also going to be looking at inverse functions later. So here we have a mapping diagram where we have a domain, and remember domain is values of x's and range is values of y, right? So this is like a point, -4, -2, but for the mapping diagram we say -4 gets mapped to -2, 0 gets mapped to -3, 1 gets mapped to 2, 4 gets mapped to 1. And then the inverse of that function is basically just switched, where we move the y values over here. So the -2, -3, 2, 1 goes into the domain, and the -4, 0, 1, 4 goes into the range. We just switch the domain and range. That's basically an inverse function, okay? So the function, the original function, this one right here is 1 to 1, because there's no output that's ever used more than once. So -4 goes to -2. There's no repeated value right here. No repeat. The inverse of the function is also a function because if we look at this one, there's also no repeat again. No repeat y values. Well, if we look at this one, this mapping diagram shows a function and its inverse. So we got -4 to -2, 0 gets mapped to -3, 1 gets mapped to 2, 4 gets mapped to 2. So 1 gets mapped to 2 and 4 gets mapped to 2. That means there's a point that has a y value of 2, 1, 2, and 4, 2. That can't happen in a function, because whenever we plug something into a function, we want to get a unique value out. If we plug in 1 and get 2 and plug in 4 and get 2, that's not really a reliable function where we plug in something and we expect to get like a unique value out. So this function is many to 1 because there are 2 inputs, 1 and 4, that have the same output. Okay, they have the same output of 2. But it is the inverse of function. So let's see, -2 gets mapped to -4, -3 gets mapped to, this is supposed to be 0, -2 gets mapped to 1, and 2 gets mapped to 4. So let's see what it says. The inverse is not a function because the input 2 has 2 different outputs. So anytime that a value gets mapped to more than one number, we're just going to say it's not a function. Okay, so there just has to be unique values between the x and y's. So here the graph of the original function from step A is shown, so in black, and then the ones that are colored are from the inverse function. And you can use a highlighter to show these if you want to. If you want to see that, I would suggest you do that. And what we want you to see is that the inverse points are a reflection across the line y equals x, which just makes sense because the x and y values get switched. So anytime we're looking at an inverse function, it's basically we want to make sure that it's a reflection across the line y equals x. So here's a table of points that show a function. Here, 6, -23, and then the inverse of that function, that point would be -23, 6. So the x and y are just switched. Do you see that between all of these? So is the inverse of the function above a function itself? Well, do we have any repeats? We do, right? Right here we have 6 negative 23 and 8, negative 23. So the inverse is not a function because the input negative 23 has two different outputs, 6 and 8. Oh, sorry, is the inverse of the function. Okay, so the inverse of the function is not a function because negative 23 has two different outputs. Okay, so we just can't have any repeat x's or repeat y's, all right? So let's look at this one. Here we have to actually write what the inverse is. So the point of the function is 55, 27. The inverse function is going to be 27, 55. These are pretty easy. We just switch them, right? 25, negative 9. This one's 67, negative 58. The inverse is negative 58 and then 67. Negative 66, 55 is going to be 55, negative 66, right? Easy. 100, negative 2 is just going to be negative 2, 100. So is the inverse of the function above a function itself? Explain. So let's see if we have any repeats. Do we? No, I don't believe we do. The only thing that I would notice is here the x value is 55 and here the y value is 55. That's okay. This is okay. Because what we can't have is multiple x values being 55 or multiple y values being 55. All right, so yes. Because there are no repeat x's and no repeat y's. And anytime in this video, if you need more time to write something down, pause it. All right? Don't let it just play on if you're writing it down, so make sure you pause. Okay, so now actually finding the inverse of a function. So that was all about inverse relations, just switching the x and y value. Now we're going to be looking at inverse functions. So the steps to write the inverse of the function is right here. Substitute y for f of x, and that's here. Here's the function, f of x equals 3x plus 4, and they want us to find the inverse of the function for the given function and use composition to verify that the functions are inverses. And what's written right here is how to verify that they're inverse functions, which you can just plug the inverse function into the original, and you should get x. And these are the steps to actually find the inverse. Okay. So let's take a look. First step is replace f of x with y. Right, so we have f of x equals 3x plus 4, so they did y equals 3x plus 4. That's pretty easy. And then after that, we solve for x. So to solve for x, we have to subtract 4 to both sides and then divide by 3, right? So minus 4 divided by 3. So we solved for x. Next step is to switch x and y. So we switch x and y, and this is actually the inverse function, but then the very last step is just replace y with f inverse x. And that's it. So the other thing to graph it, so these are equations of lines. So to graph any function, no matter what, we can just make a table of values. So if we plug in, let's say we plug in negative 2 and 0. It doesn't matter what we want to plug in, but if we plug in negative 2, 0 into this, 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. Negative 6 plus 4 is negative 2. 3 times 0 is 0, plus 4 is 4. So these 2 points, negative 2 right here, and 0, 4 right here are on that line. So you'd plot those 2 points and connect them to make that line, right? So that's the original function. And then this is the other one. And to graph this one, we'd make another table. We could use the same points if we wanted to. It doesn't matter. So if we plug in negative 2 here, we get negative 2 minus 4. Negative 2 minus 4 is negative 6. Negative 6 divided by 3 is negative 2. So there's this one. And then plug in 0, we get 0 minus 4 is negative 4. Negative 4 divided by 3 is like a little less than 1.5. So 0 here, a little less than 1.5. And then connect, right? And notice the functions are a reflection of each other across the line y equals x. So if we folded this at the line y equals x, the lines would land on top of each other. Okay, oops. Negative, what was it going to be? 4 over 3. Okay, let's try our own again. So first step, replace f of x with y, so we get y equals negative 2x plus 3, and then solve for x. So replace f of x with y, and then now we're going to solve for x. To solve for x, we got a minus 3 to both sides. And this step is a step I see a lot of mistakes on, but this is just y minus 3, right? Y minus 3 equals negative 2x. And then last step to solve for x, divide by negative 2, because negative 2 is multiplying to the y. So I get y minus 3 equals, or divided by negative 2 equals x. After we solve for x, we switch x and y. So we got x minus 3 over negative 2 equals y. And then replace y with f inverse x. That's supposed to be a negative 1. So we get f inverse x equals x minus 3 over negative 2. Okay, and now we're going to actually graph them. So to graph them, we just make a table of values. It doesn't matter what points you choose. Let's just do like 0 and 1. And it doesn't matter. So if I plug in 0 into the original one, so this is for f of x, I plug in 0, get negative 2 times 0 is 0 plus 3 is 3. And then plug in 1, negative 2 times 1 is negative 2. Negative 2 plus 3 is 1. So those are 2 points to graph the equation of that line. It doesn't matter what 2 points you choose. You can choose anything to plug in for x. So 0, 3, 1, 1. That's that one. And then you draw a straight line through those points. Straight line through those points. There we go. Okay, well, I wanted it to go all the way. But, and then the other one. The inverse. So we're going to do the same thing. Let's just do maybe like 1 and 2. Plug in 1 for x, plug in 2 for x. It doesn't really matter. So if I plug in 1, I get 1 minus 3. 1 minus 3 is negative 2, and then negative 2 divided by negative 2 is 1. Plug in 2. 2 minus 3. 2 minus 3 is negative 1. Negative 1 divided by negative 2 is positive 0.5. 0.5. And you can show your work on that. Use a calculator, whatever. 1, 1. And then 2, 0.5, like that, and then we connect, and just visually looking at it, can we tell that these lines are a reflection across this line, across the dashed line, y equals x? I can see that they are, that it is a reflection, so you kind of want to check to make sure. Okay, next one, find the inverse of the function. And then use composition to verify that they are inverses. Oh, did I forget to do that here? Use composition. Yes, I did. Okay, so I have to find f of inverse x. So the original function is negative 2x plus 3. And what I'm going to do is just where I see the x, I'm going to plug in the inverse function, x minus 3 over negative 2. Okay, now let's see what happens. So negative 2 divided by negative 2 cancels, and then we get x minus 3 plus 3. X minus 3 plus 3 is just x. So whenever I plug in the inverse function into the original, I get x, and that means that it's correct. Okay, next one. This one's going to go fast because I'm running out of time. Replace f of x with y. Solve for x. There we go. And then replace or switch x and y. Replace y with inverse f of x, like so. So that is our inverse function. And let's verify with composition. So f of f inverse x equals. So I want to look back up here where the function's at. This is the function, my original function, and where I see an x, what do I have to plug in? The inverse function, right? 3x plus 3. So let's see. So you see how I just rewrote it, but where I see an x, I put parentheses. Now inside the parentheses goes this function. All right? And I do end up getting x, so I know it's right. Now we have to graph. there's f of x in the line. So there are the points in the line, and they should reflect. So now help each other